Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Trudy and I create motherhood, family, beauty, and lifestyle content. Today I am doing a full get ready with me makeup outfit while we have a little sit down since it's summer break, but our kids are out of school. So let's talk about some things that we face as moms and what we're getting up to this summer. Some fun things that our kids can do that won't break the bank, and also keeping in mind us as parents and caregivers, what we can do for ourselves this summer. Let's be honest, for summer break can be a stressful time for some parents. So yes, let's get into the video. Let's start with makeup. I actually got some products from It Cosmetics that I want to try today. This is their Do It All Radiant Concealer. I also got their Sun Blush. So I'm going to try these out today. It's been about a week since summer break has started and we have found a routine, and I knew that I wanted to stick with a routine that is kind of identical to the routine that they have at school and the schedule that they have at school, just so that there isn't much of a drastic change in the schedule for myself and for my son, and also really trying to keep our bedtimes the same. And not to be a huge stickler on it, but sleep. I know that I need my sleep and he needs to sleep. And I actually don't mind if we sleep in. I'm okay with that because the sleep is so important. Waking up on your own and just waking up naturally with the sun, or when your body has rested and you're ready to get up for the day. But of course, that all just depends on your schedule, your lifestyle, all of that kind of stuff. I personally like an early bedtime. Listen, summer break can be a super stressful time for parents, especially if you are the primary caregiver, if you are working from home and trying to take care of your kids. If you have one kid and you have to entertain them and feed them many meals a day, depending on their ages, having multiple kids or one kid, everyone's lifestyle and what their summer break is truly specific to them. But one thing that is almost the same amongst a lot of parents that I have spoken to, stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home dads, working parents, working moms, is that it can be difficult. It can be a struggle taking care of little ones, taking care of your kids, and then also trying to prioritize taking care of yourself and your business and your work, all of the different avenues of your life. So that is true. That is true. You know how we were also talking about soft life, that whole you want a soft life, that kind of thing. But that word was just everywhere. That phrase was everywhere, having a soft life. I think it's really important to keep that in mind, that kind of phrase in mind, and redefine it the way that is specific to you. If that is waking up early to have your coffee and your breakfast before your kids, if that is prepping breakfast before your kids get up, if that is sleeping in and your kids know where all the breakfast stuff is and they can help themselves because they are independent, that is you redefining or specifically defining that soft life, or having a calm and slow morning, your morning routine. You define it the way that is specific to you. I find that is the most important. Doing things and having my schedule that is specific to me. And even just going through and seeing how do I want this summer to be? I know that I want to incorporate some learning, some education, some fun activities, crafts, cooking, and I know that I want to make sure that my son understands lifestyle skills, taking care of himself, taking care of his space, having his own kind of slow and calm moment, independent moments. Also really big on independent play, having kids play on their own independently without their parents. I have, especially if you are a parent of one child, we realistically just cannot entertain our kids all day. It's not realistic. Yes, we want to play with them, but then when we want to get to the stuff that we will have to get done, if you're working from home, it can be very challenging. So independent play is a big box that I knew that I wanted to check. Not just during summer break, but every day. Independent play is important to me. So really defining and figuring out how you want your summer to look, and keeping in mind that you will need breaks throughout the day, throughout the week, whatever it may be. You're going to need some time for yourself. So plan for it. Plan for having pockets of time for you. I think is really important, and we tend to put ourselves on the back burner sometimes as moms, as parents. We think of ourselves last, and I think it's a good thing to put yourself first during the planning. Think of some fun things that you want to do this summer, if it's solo without your kids or if it's doing some fun things with your kids. And this is also a part of like the mental load of planning a lot during the summer or preparing before the summer, getting all of that stuff in order. Yes, that also takes a lot of energy of trying to plan out even just simple tasks. So I'm going to help you just a little bit. I've created a blog post of about 15 to 20 things that you can do with your kids that are budget friendly, affordable, stuff that you can do at home, fun activities, cooking stuff. And of course, you can always follow me on Instagram where I share bits and pieces of my daily life. Some of the homeschooling stuff that I do, I share that more so on Instagram. So yeah, I'm obviously just want to go through and do this full get ready with me and talk about some things that I mentioned in my blog post and just some things that I've like talked to parents about, stuff that I've personally experienced over summer break, and I'm going to share them with you. Like there were certain things that I put higher on my priority list and what is important to me, and lowering my stress and anxiety in the morning was high on that list. So doing things, again, sleep, having a good breakfast was very important to me, and having a slow, low stress, low anxiety morning really set the tone for my day. And not having coffee also helped with that, because when I had the caffeine, it just amplified like my anxiety and amplified the things that I needed to do, and that I needed to get all of these things done all at once. So changing up that routine a little bit, listening to my body, helped my morning routine, and has also helped just moving into summer break, lowering my anxiety and stress. It's helped. Okay, so let's talk about some fun things that you can do with your kids this summer. I picked up a couple things for summer, a water table. I believe we have like a sprinkler, and what else did I get? Like a soccer net, just activities, outdoor activities that we can do, because again, still getting outside is important to me, something that I know that I need to go outside and just touch grass more, once, twice, 3 times a day, stuff like that. So making sure that we get outside. I got a water table for us to play with, for my son to play with, some sprinklers, even getting some water balloons. So planning a morning to before it's afternoon, if it gets really hot where you are, it does for us. So planning some like morning activities after we've had breakfast, after we've done a morning lesson, getting outside to play with our water table, even getting those water balloons. Again, I will link my blog post below where you can get a list of ideas to go through of what fits your lifestyle and your routine. So just having like a water day, a water morning, afternoon, having a water table, getting some of those resealable water balloons, and letting your kids have a ball. Because the truth is, which kids don't like playing in the water? Most of them do. Most of them, you have to beg them to get out of the water. So having something fun like that, where they're going to play, use up their energy to play on their water table, get them some toys in there, add some bubbles. I know sometimes I will just sit outside and blow bubbles, go through my iPad, just having a calm, relaxing time. And sometimes it is just setting up the activity and letting your kid play, and I will not interrupt. I will not interrupt. Unless my son is like, do I want to go and play with him? But I won't interrupt. And I think that's a big thing too. Sometimes parents will interrupt their kids and say, oh, how about you play with this? How about you play with that? Just let them play with what they're playing with. And if they change their mind, that's fine. But if they don't, just let them play. Utilize the resources in your community. If you have a library, I'm pretty sure they might have a summer reading club. They might have story time. Plan your days around that. Check out their schedules that they have. If they have storybook time, bring your kids to that. If they have even if they don't have storybook time, bring your kids to the library once a week, twice a week. Take out a couple of books, take out some movies, CDs, whatever it may be. Even just doing some time at the library, walking around. Listen, as a parent, getting your kids in a different environment, just exposing your kids to a different environment, being around the librarians. They might see other kids there. Some libraries even have activities that the kids can do, Legos, puzzles, stuff like that, right? So get your kids out, use the resources that are in your community, your library, your community centers. See if they have storybook times and have an afternoon, storybook kind of afternoon. And a lot of libraries will also have like summer reading challenges. My library provided that, so you can log online and track your reading. They have different challenges and prizes that kids can win. So look into that if there is like a summer reading challenge. And if your library doesn't have it, then you can also create a summer reading challenge for your kids. They can win prizes, maybe they can win certain activities if it's TV time, whatever, again, whatever suits your lifestyle and your family dynamics. Plan something like that. Some parents will go as far as like doing book reports so that the child understands their reading. Depends on the age of your kids, but why not, guys? Like, these are great activities to incorporate over summer. And it really makes me think of like growing up in the 90s. Yes, we read books more. We had like the Babysitters Club. You know, all those series, those book series? You were always so excited to sit down and get into those book series as kids. So introduce that to your kids now, you know, as something fun to do. We don't always have to stay entertaining our kids 100% of the time. Let kids be bored. That is another thing that I've noticed this past week. Let them be quote unquote bored. Let them find things to do. Another great idea, have a boredom jar. Depending on the age of your kids, you can have a boredom jar. Let them come up with activities that they would want to do when they're bored. Different activities. If it's like, let's pull out a puzzle. Let's do Lego. Maybe they have a specific Lego kit that they wanted to do. That's what you can do when you're bored. Activities that they wouldn't typically do, write them down and put them in a boredom jar. And if you find that they're just huffing and puffing around the house and I'm so bored, I have nothing to do, because I guarantee you kids will say that during the summer break, go and check out your boredom jar and pull something out. Find an activity to do. And if you have older kids, they might just go directly to that to give them an idea to do, jog their memory of something interesting that they once thought of. Boredom jar. It's a good idea, trust me. And if you're also a parent that gets really overstimulated with mess and toys and all of that everywhere, it might sound counterintuitive, but reduce the toys. Take away the toys. Leave like 5 to 6 toys out. If you're a person who rotates toys, rotate the toys. Because sometimes just having too many toys and your kids won't play with them. That's the honest truth. Kids won't always play with all the toys that are out. They just can't. They physically cannot. They might play with 1 or 2, but let them play with just like 1 or 2 toys and let them really sit down and focus on playing with a couple of toys. That has helped with my overstimulation and just seeing the amount of toys out. I just reduced it. Just reduce the amount of toys. Make sure that they have a home, to have just a sense of organization, I guess. So some more activities that you can do outside of your home. Running regular errands. You guys know, as moms, we run errands like crazy. Going out to like a farmer's market, even finding a brand new farmer's market in your area and exploring that, finding some new fruits and vegetables, coming up with like the dinner plans for the day. What are we going to cook today? Let's create a list. Let's go out and get those things. Here's some other things that you can do outside of your home. Splash pads. Utilize splash pads, especially if they are free. You can do something that's within your community or venture out and make the day out of it. Splash pad day, or if you're close to a beach or something like that, make the day out of it. Have a beach day or a splash pad day, packing some lunches. If all that is too much, hey, you can order some pizzas. I'm all about keeping Summer break, easy, low stress, because this is like 2 months of your kids being at home and 100% being with you almost all the time. Even if they're playing independently, it's just the energy that the kids need. Yes. And you being present, yes, it's a lot. So I'm all about having a sustainable summer for you and for your kids, where you don't feel completely exhausted and completely burnt out at the end of every single day, because it's a lot. Okay, so something else that you can do getting outside of the house with your kids, museums, art galleries, depending on their age. I found that we spent a day at the museum. Of course, you might want to research ahead what type of exhibits that they have, but that will give you a day. And after looking at my blog post, I'm not saying that you need to do everything on this list. Go through it and see what is specific to you and your life, what your family would enjoy, what you personally would enjoy. But I find planning 1 to 2 activities a week to be a good sweet spot for me, where it's not too much work to plan those activities or have an idea of what we want to go to. And then of course you are already planning meals and all of that in between anyways. So I just found planning a couple of activities a week kind of mixes up being at home or just being in the same setting, and just kind of gives a new experience for myself and for my son too. So a lot of museums might have kid-free days, family-free days, or discounted days. So being a budget or more of affordable option, going to a museum or art gallery, especially summertime, some of those businesses understand and know that kids need to get outside. You want to engage their minds, museums and art galleries, and look for their, family days. Some fun things that you can do at home. So recently we made some popsicles at home. Like, this is a pretty easy activity, especially if you just went to the farmer's market and you picked up some fresh fruits, blueberries, strawberries, mangoes, pineapple, like all of that kind of stuff. You can make some popsicles at home. Mind you, yes, you can make some fun popsicles at home. I'll put a video somewhere here on the screen of what we were doing that day. I just found some popsicle molds at my local grocery store. You can get them on Amazon, I'm sure Walmart, or even maybe your local grocery store. So bought those there, and we just blended up some strawberries and some mangoes, put the popsicles in, and the next day we had some popsicles for the summer. So, well, yeah, an easy way to make popsicles. And because it was so easy, I just let my son go and do it. Yes, it is a messier activity to do, but they can also do cleanup as well. Life skills, okay? So, yes, we did that. Making popsicles at home is a great activity to do over the summer. There are popsicles. You can do freezies, fudgesicles, creamsicles. If I have that recipe up, it's pretty simple. If I have that recipe up, I'll also put it in my blog post somewhere. But that is another fun thing to do, is making popsicles. Another thing that I'm interested in trying over the summer is tie-dye shirts. I've always wanted to try that. So doing tie-dye shirts for the summer, fun activity depending on the age of your kids. To do that at home would be super fun. You can get those kits on Amazon. There's also a way that you can do it naturally using like natural ingredients, I'm sure, using stuff like beets. If I can find it, I will post it somewhere in the description below if I can find the natural way of doing it. But doing tie-dye shirts, you can get those kits on Amazon, which again is just like another fun activity to do with your kids. So now for rainy day activities, because we know it's going to happen. There will be some days where it is raining, it is pouring, or maybe, knock on wood, I hope this does not happen to you, but possibly a sick day. So if you have young kids, I know that we have those like forts, those little buildable forts at home. You don't have to have those. If you have a couch that has cushions, we know the kids take them apart anyways. Making like a fort, building a fort at home with blankets, pillows, stuff like that would be good for rainy days, or days indoors. I also find that putting together an obstacle course, like if you have balance beams, if you have those stepping stones, stuff like that, can be really fun for kids to have like an obstacle course, hula hoops, stepping, jumping, running if there's space to do so. Kids like to do stuff like that. So an indoor activity, if you can put together an indoor obstacle course would be fun for them. Even if you want to do another spin on that would be having an indoor treasure hunt. You can also make it educational. If it's finding letters, numbers, words, having some prizes attached to that. Those are some also really great ideas for kids to do over the summertime. If you're stuck indoors or if you just need a break from being outside, if the heat is too much, then that's another idea. Obstacle course, let the kids just build a fort in the house, fun things, a treasure hunt inside the house. That will give you hopefully an hour, maybe two, depending on how extensive it is, and then maybe leading into some independent play after that. There are a couple of sites that you can go to for printables, getting workbooks. If it has to do with painting, drawing, there are some kits that you can buy to just do indoor crafts, activities. You don't have to be super creative. For me, I am not a DIY come up with creative activities on the fly. I will go out and buy something or I will print something that my child can do at home. Those are some of the ideas that I have for summer fun things to do with your kids, but then let's also think about things that you can do for yourself. Now, don't forget to plan if it's a weekly or monthly, just alone time. If it's, I think even daily alone time, I personally like my morning routine and my nighttime routine to be my downtime. So I make sure to prioritize that because I really enjoy having that nighttime routine and morning routine to myself. So making sure to keep morning routines, nighttime routines, have some routine, have something that is just for you where you can do something that you like. If it is sitting and scrolling on your phone, just having a moment for yourself. If it's a girls' night, a date night, plan something, have your partner plan something that you need. I also find if you have like a group of mom friends that you can, if you have a babysitter or doing a large play date with other moms, that can also just help if you can have one or two moms really focusing and paying attention while the other moms can kind of relax and just switching stuff like that. Having like large group, large play dates. I wouldn't say super large, but like maybe 1 to 3 or 1 to 4, something like that. Having play dates or play groups where parents can take turns watching the kids so that other parents can just have a moment to unwind and kind of de-stress and regulate their nervous system, because that is really important. We're on all day, all the time. And I think we forget that as parents because we don't see it. It's not something that we see, but it is definitely something that we feel at the end of the day and during the day, throughout the day. So keep that in mind. Make time for yourself. If it's the morning and the nighttime throughout the day, have even specific just quiet time. You can plan that in your day. Okay, right now it's 3 p.m. It is quiet time. Plan it in your day. We're going to have a quiet time, a wind down time. And I promise you, if you implement that and you constantly do it in your schedule, if your kids initially complain, eventually it is just going to be the norm. Oh, it's 3 o'clock. It is quiet time. Mom needs it and I need it too. They can find something to do where they don't have to call out your name for 10, 15, 30 minutes. It's a great idea. And I'm not saying that your days have to be super rigid and planned and all of that, but realistically, let's being honest as moms, we are, doing the meal planning, doing the laundry, doing the cleaning, and then being a primary caregiver a lot of the day, doing all of those things. It is very intricate and it's time demanding and it's a lot on us mentally and physically, and we feel like we're being pushed and pulled in a lot of different directions. So yes, taking time for yourself, I think, is the bare minimum. So finding time for yourself is also important during the summer break. Yes, our kids are off, but they can do things independently. We can help them. We can find fun and engaging things for them to do. We can keep somewhat of a schedule and a routine. It doesn't have to be very rigid. It can have some flexibility. You can have some spontaneous days, but also keep in mind to please make time for yourself throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, because it can be, not just can be, it is very mentally demanding and draining. We all understand and know the mental load of motherhood and all the tasks and things that we have to do throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, and just life in general. So keep all those things in mind. I'm just going to finish up this look with some mascara and a lip color, and then let's get dressed. I'm going to wear this green dress for today. This green dress. If you haven't seen my most recent H&M haul, I'll put it somewhere here on the screen, but I picked up these espadrilles. They are super comfortable, so I'm going to wear these shoes today. I'm going to put on the sunscreen first, and then I'm going to layer some of my oil so that my skin looks nice and moisturized. So I'm going to start with this one first. And I'm sure that you have heard of the Fenty Skin Butter Drop. And this is the Aveeno. This is their daily moisturizing oil mist. I love these two moisturizers if you want your skin to be super glowy this summer. So this is my outfit for the day. Shoes are super comfortable, which I love, and I put on some earrings. So I want to thank you so much for joining me and sitting down and just having a chit chat about summer and all the things that it has to do and pertain to motherhood. My blog post will be in the description below, so you can find some helpful, fun, affordable things to do with your kids this summer. Don't forget to take care of yourself and stay safe. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, hit that button, and I will see you in my next couple of videos. We have some summer hauls and we have some fun summer vlogs coming up, so stay tuned.